Good morning, guys! Today is day 2 of my Little Earth Week celebration. Today we're going to be making a DIY reusable shopping bag. I know I mentioned in my intro video that we'd be going to the co-op later this afternoon, but realistically I don't think that's going to happen just because I have a lot of chores to get caught up on. But we're definitely going to be making that bag, so let's do that. Here's my Little Earth Week outfit of the day, day 2. I did not feel like doing my hair, so I have a hat on today. I've already spilt water on my dress. This dress is actually a maternity dress, and I've had it for a long time. There's actually some stains on it. I have some stains in the back too, but it's something that I wear all the time. I'd really like to recreate this dress if I could in a different fabric. So that might be another video coming up soon. And then t-shirt is just a Levi's t-shirt that I've had for years. And then socks. Socks because I'm not leaving my house. Well, I'm not leaving my house yet. Now, for the bag that we're making today, I'm actually going to be using a pattern. I've sewn a lot of bags in the past, so I know I could just make my own, but sometimes it's fun to support other people and try new patterns. So the pattern I am using today is from DM Pattern Store. I've never used it before, but I saw this right here and it was only $2.50. The seller actually sent me a 10% off coupon, so I ended up only paying $2.25 for it. I really liked the style of this bag. It is fully lined, and I thought, hey, for $2.50, let's try it. Real quick, if you've ever wondered why my name is Spoolspell, it's because originally I named my Etsy store Spoolspell, and so it's just kind of stuck, but I've just decided to take a little break from it. I might pick it back up. If you've never used PDF patterns before, they're super easy to work with. You simply print them out, tape them together, and cut them out. The tape I'm going to be using today is actually paper tape. You can usually find this in your medical aisle at your local grocery store. The reason I like to use paper tape is because later when my patterns are folded, if I ever want to unfold them and iron them, the tape will not melt because it's paper. Usually paper patterns will have little markings or guides on them that help you line up your pattern pieces. So for instance, this is a B and this is an A. So I know that these two B's should connect. I do find it kind of helpful to cut one edge off. It just helps line up the patterns a little bit easier. Unnecessary, but makes my life a little bit easier. Now that I cut that off, it just makes this process a lot easier. Just want to show you guys really quick, you can still see the lines even though it's paper. All right, so this is what it looks like. I have everything taped up the way it's supposed to be. Now we just cut it out. Grab some scissors. Another perk to using paper tape is that you can recycle your scraps. All right, there it is. One thing I specifically liked about this pattern was these box corners. I love boxing my corners, and so the fact that it already took that into account is kind of nice. You don't even have to measure anything, it's already there. Now we can go pick out our fabric. I am so sorry about the mess. Let me remove this clothing rack so that you guys can see my messy fabric stash. Here is my super messy fabric stash. It's getting a little out of hand. Most of this fabric I thrifted, so a lot of it's secondhand. So I'm thinking that this is a good option right here. So this is a quilt top that I thrifted. I think I paid $2 for this. I've had it for a couple of years and I haven't really done anything with it. So that's one option. And then I have another fabric that I really like. This is another option. It's very wrinkly. I thrifted that last week. These are in my clothing bin because I washed them and I just have not gotten around to folding them. Here is the other contender. Both of these I thrifted last week. Love them very much, but I also really love this quilt top. Let me just take a good look at them real quick. Sometimes it helps to position the pattern on the fabric before you start cutting. So I'm gonna put you down for a sec. I think I'm gonna save that. I think that I'm gonna use this floral fabric. I feel like this will really make an outfit. Now for the lining, honestly, like this sheet would be kind of cute. So for this pattern, I'm gonna have to cut 2 pieces folded of both the lining and the exterior. Anytime I do that, I like to lay my pattern piece on my fabric while it's folded, and I'll kind of just cut like a general shape out. Then I usually press it and then I cut it. I feel like vertical lines, that'll be really cute. Let me grab my scissors. Where are they? So already for this piece, I've decided to make this beige line my centerpiece. So I want to make sure that I do that same thing on the second piece. So there's those 2 pieces. Now I'm going to cut out my lining pieces. So doing the same thing, folding it and cutting out a general shape. And now I'm going to press these babies. I really need to take some time to just clean this. I like to use starch sometimes when I'm ironing. I just feel like it makes the project a little bit easier to handle. While my fabric is still on my ironing board, I'm just gonna go ahead and transfer the pattern onto my fabric using this little water-soluble pen. So this right here is going to be the center of my bag. I've already determined that. And this fabric actually has an additional line, which is kind of helpful. But basically, I am going to fold it right on that line. See? All right, so there's all 4 of my pieces. Now they're ready to cut. Okay, so I went ahead and cut out my patterned pieces. Here's one. You can already see kind of what the shape of the bag is going to be like. So there's my 2 lining pieces. Here's my exterior piece. So I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to go ahead and take a quick break and make myself some lunch, and I'll see you guys afterwards.
Cheers.
Okay, so it is literally so nice outside, so I've decided to bring my project out here as well as my sewing machine. That way I can finish it while still enjoying the outdoors. Here's my little setup. I have my sewing machine plugged into an extension cord. And then this project is so simple, so all I brought out was Wonder Clips, my glue stick, and a seam ripper. Gotta take a picture for the gram. Can you see that? Probably not. Okay, so I've gone ahead and glue basted my little spool spell label that I used to use for my Etsy. I still have a bunch of these, and sometimes I like to add them to my projects.
Look at that one.
Pretty cute. Except I just realized I still have elastic in the bottom bobbin case of my machine, so I need to change that out real quick. So I'm going to start by sewing the exterior pieces right sides together, and I am going to sew the bottom. That's what I'm going to sew first. I am going to use my little Wonder Clips to clip them. However, I'm going to glue baste them first. Anytime I make something that has like plaid or stripes and I really want them to line up, I like to use glue to help me do that. Whoa, my project's flying away. What are you doing, buddy? I'm also going to go ahead and pin my sides together. There's my alarm. Okay, we are back, and now it's time to finish this bag. So basically I went ahead, pinned the bottom and pinned the sides, and I did that for both pieces. Now we're just gonna sew it. I'm like so used to standing up when I sew, and I forget that you can sit down sometimes. I am just gonna be using the edge of my presser foot as my seam allowance. Alright, so I sewed one side, and now I'm gonna sew up all the other sides. There's my little label. So we're gonna sew this the same way, except for the lining, we're gonna leave a little portion of the bottom open so that we can flip our bag back out once we're assembling it. Ta-da! All right, so these are both sewn. Now, the next step is to box our corner. Now the next step is to box our corners. So to do that, all you have to do is open up the little hole where your corner's at, and then you're gonna wanna match both of these seams together. So once they are matched up, you'll simply add some clips and then you'll sew it this way. This is the first time all year I've sewn outside. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, that's looking really good, I think. You can see that my seams are lined up. Okay, so for this next step, I am going to keep this lining piece flipped inside out. We'll simply take our lining and our exterior, and we're gonna shove it inside of the lining. And you wanna match up your corners and your straps. So for this next step, I'm just gonna sew each side, and I'm gonna leave about 2 inches at the top of each handle. Oops, okay, so I ran out of bobbin thread. Let me fix that. Got one side sewed. I sewed up all my sides. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab some scissors. So I got some scissors. What I'm gonna do now is I'm going to clip some notches in my curves. That'll just make the curves a little bit neater once we flip the bag. So it looks kind of like that. Okay, so I got them all clipped. Now it's time to pull the bag through. So I'm just gonna open up that little hole. Probably could have made this hole a little larger, but it's fine. My seams are nicely matched. All right, so before I tuck the lining back in, I am just gonna sew it shut. Okay, so there's what it's looking like. So the next step is to finish the handles. So to do that, I'm just gonna take my handles and stitch both the lining and the exterior right sides together. So I'll connect the exterior and I'll sew that, and then same for the lining. See, it's already starting to look kind of like a handle. And so same for the lining. All right, when you take it and you pull it, you should have 2 finished sides. I'm gonna do the same thing for the other handle, and then I'm gonna go inside and press it. Okay, so I'm gonna have to finish my raw edges right here. So basically all I'm gonna do is fold it under, press it, and then apply some clips and top stitch. All right, so I got it all clipped up, and it almost looks like a tank top. But I'm gonna go ahead and top stitch it, and then we'll be done. Almost finished, guys. I'm gonna remove this part. I'm almost finished. There it is. Look at that. Oh my goodness. This is so cute. I'm so happy with it. And I got my little tag on there. I love this. I would definitely recommend this pattern. Look at it. Oh, it's so cute. I'm really happy I went with this fabric, and I think the lining fabric also goes really well with the exterior. So happy. We'll definitely be making some more of these. All right, guys, so I definitely love the pattern, definitely recommend it, and I will be making some more of these in the future. But I gotta go. I had a lot of fun sewing with you guys today. It looks like it's supposed to rain tomorrow, but I still plan on going on that nature walk and that picnic that I mentioned in my first video. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.